these are what you get for B2s and B3, positive. What it means is that when CL is increasing, pocket depth is increasing as well as BOP. Estimate of rho, the spatial association parameter, is lying between 0.95 and 0.96. This is for this model. Now tooth 1 was considered to be the baseline, so I'm presenting tooth 2 to 7. One of the interesting features here is that, see, as you go towards the back of the mouth, the values are increasing. So this is what is happening for this population. This group of population has really bad the molars and the premolars. So as you get to the back of the tooth, they are the highly diseased ones. The gap between the tooth, which share a little more one more neighbor than the sides, are believed to be more diseased here. And then maxilla is negative, which means site in the lower jaw is more diseased than the site in the upper jaw. This is what I was trying to explain. Age, the 95% credible interval moved from this to the full model showed to be 0.023 to 0.086. Now this is pretty common. I mean, this is at least what we should have captured here. I mean, you believe that yeah, it is that historically it is shown that age is, but at least we could convince the dentist there that we are getting the same picture here. I mean, in the dataset that they provided. I mean, this is a very local data. I mean, you have to go to probably Enhance to do the analysis again. We are kind of doing that because that is a more national representative database. Similar with the case 2, where we considered, this is our case 2, where we considered same variances for all the subject. What we get here is that it has a similar type of similar result, but we have the width of the 95% credible interval were a little wider. And if you believe the Bayesian like the DIC, deviance information criteria, it was lower for case 1. Now remember we mentioned the weights. How about the weights influencing beta? In this plot, what I'm showing is this. I calculated all the weights for all the subjects. This is the smallest weight I could get, 3, and now I'm plotting the posterior of betas for the subject with weight 3.3. So let me explain you what is going on in the slides. Maxilla and mandible are the jaws. Lingual and buccal. Lingual is are the sides that touches the tongue, and the buccal at the cheek side. So in each of these panels, there are 42 sides. So this will help you explain. So you have tooth 1 to 7 and 1 to 7 for the mandibular jaw and the buccal region, like the one that on the cheek side. And then the D and M, so the one that are numbered here, see the D and M denotes the distal and the mesial. So let me show you, let me explain you what are those. If you consider this particular picture, for this particular side I have numbered 1. This is the distal, this is the mesial. So you have distal, number, mesial, distal, number, mesial. This is how it is calculated. Now going back to this figure, this is how it is calculated. You have distal, the middle side, and the mesial, and that goes from 1 to 7 as well. This is how it looks like, the plots of the posterior of beta for the subject with the smallest weight. This is the plot for subject with the largest weight, 74.1. What does it mean? The information on the subject level covariates accumulate via the latent process expected value of mu y. So now due to spatial variability, this mean is quite uncertain when with the subjects with the largest tau, that is the smallest w. Now tau is inversely proportional to w. So when you provide the smallest weight, that also provides very little information about beta. But in contrast, the subjects with the smallest tau and the largest w are much side to side stable, and they provide much reliable information on beta. That is why you find a lot of smooth, like the CL to be much more. This is based only on CAL, and these are so scattered around. Trying to plot the posterior mean tau y and sigma ij and on the left panel, Always on the right panel, I'm plotting the posterior of tau for all the subjects with their credible intervals. So there is considerable variation across subjects, and you can see that the 95% credible interval for tau I for all the subjects are non-overlapping. So there is a wide variety of variation with respect to spatial variation from the figure from the right panel. Now these plots are probably the most interesting set of plots. Here I'm trying to plot the posterior mean of AJ and BJ mu I for CAL. Now again it has the same meaning, mandible, lingular, maxillary buccal, and you have 42 sites for each of these panels. The numbers in dots are the true values for CAL, and the lines are the estimated ones, like the posterior, like the fitted ones. Now, the most interesting thing is happening here on the molar region. What it means is that a lot of molars are missing for this subject. So what it means is that had the molars been present at this stage, my model, which consider the informative messenger structure, will estimate, which is denoted by this dashed line. This will be the estimate of the true periodontal health of that particular site which is missing had they been present at this stage. So that clarifies your B0 to be greater than 0, because it is putting the predictive curve a little upper than the one that do not consider the informative structure. This was really like exciting to the dentists because they could have a feel about I can give them a prediction value had those tooth being present for this particular subject. But if the tooth is present at this stage, then you do not get any different prediction. I mean, both are doing the same thing. As you can see, the two curves are pretty much close to each other. This is for CAL. This is happening for the pocket depth. Again, the same feature is happening in the molar region. These are the back of the mouth. Something happening here as well. Bleeding and probing, that's the binary, 0 and 1. So the dots are either here or in this line. And this is the posterior mean and credible interval for the whole latent spatial process mu is. Here I have also plotted the credible interval, so you can see 6 of them. The dashed ones are the one that you get from the model that do consider the B0 not equal to 0, and the bold ones are the one that do not consider the informative structure. Now the reviewer, one of the reviewers commented that you used one spatial structure. Why don't you use some more? And they asked for some easy comparison, like just try out something. So here I'm just presenting DIC values that I got fitting some different types of spatial structure. This is what I got from the neighborhood structure, what I used. Now I consider simple autoregressive, which is like I'm considering the 3 sides on one particular side, the buccal side, the cheek side of the tongue side, to be AR1. And I'm not considering any neighborhood, just AR1. This is your deviance information criteria for that. And when you consider all observations on the same tooth are neighbors, this is what you get as grid 3. So, and we did not encounter any further questions, sort of probably it's an applied way of thinking, like sort of convincing to them that for this particular data set, probably the spatial association structure that we're using can be convincing. But you can definitely argue that if you change this one and include some more neighbors, what would be there? We did not try those, but this is...
You went in one direction rather than making it more complex.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can think about things where tooth that are in the different jaws, but exactly touching each other can behave as neighbors. But remember, periodontal disease is the gum. So this disease happens when there is something going on in the gum. It is not exactly the teeth. There is a different disease in teeth called dental caries, where you will find structural decay of the teeth. In that case, probably mastication or something can provide some kind of decay to the structure. But I guess, I mean, since this is gum, it was reasonable to consider the structure based, separate. I mean, the structure to that what I'm assuming to be for